great job on this incredible movie. The first thing I'm really curious about, if the three of you can speak on, the movie opens with a really interesting scene that's kind of disconnected from the rest of things. And I felt like it was this perfect way for us to see a side of these guys we don't get to see again and connect us with them. And I know you all bonded in the process of prepping and getting ready. And so I kind of wanted to hear each of you, maybe we'll start with Will, then go to D'Pharaoh, then go to Charles, just talk about that scene's significance to you and the bonding and how that creates so much of what's so powerful about this movie.
Yeah, it's a really good point, man. I mean, I think before anything else, the thing that underpins everything in this movie is respect of the facts and authenticity and accuracy. And then I think secondarily, the thing that underpins everything you see in the movie is the kind of bond between these young men. And that opening is really interesting. I think a lot of folks sit down, even in early screenings, and they think they may be in the wrong movie. And it's purposely, I think, designed to almost throw you off balance. And what it also speaks to is the different direction that this movie kind of moves in. I think that without talking badly of any other films that have depicted war, I think that there are sometimes some misconceptions around what war is because it has been romanticized and glorified, and dare I say it's been made to look kind of cool at times. And I think that from the point that you're talking about onwards, really the focus becomes the negative consequences of war and the kind of uglier realities. And so when you reflect back on that opening, you see kind of a group of young men who are maybe yet to sort of reckon with some of those consequences. And I think altogether, broadly, the film asks a number of different questions, but one of them certainly being, what are the consequences of war? And if you are involved in the decisions around sending young men to war, be prepared to reckon with those ugly truths, and don't be laboring under any of those misconceptions that some other films have maybe led us to labor under.
Well said. Do you guys have anything you want to add to that? Or
Nope. I think that's perfect.
um,
I was thinking the
Def-
exact same
so
thing.
then I'll ask D'Pharaoh, kind of your character
Hmm.
is thrust into, and it's Ray's there, right?
Hmm.
He's working on the movie with you. I guess I'm curious mostly the interaction with him had to be a little different for you
Hmm.
because he was there and he's directing and he wrote and you're playing him, even though a lot of the guys are playing people who they get to interact with offset. Like, can you talk a little bit about the uniqueness of that?
Well, it's interesting because Ray really didn't want to hype himself up. So whenever I would talk to him about what happened that day or countless other days that happened, just to kind of give a grasp of this guy, he was very humble, too humble, honestly. I really had to talk to other people about other veterans who were there that day to get a true understanding of who this guy was. He's a very humble man. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, it's funny you said he was working with me on this guy. I felt like I was working with him. Like this is his story and everything, and how grateful I am to be a part of to tell this truthful story. A story that is not manipulated in any way or doesn't take a stance. It just states facts.
Yeah.
And that's something so rare in film. And the fact that I got to do this, my first ever war film, maybe my last, but my first ever war film was something so truthful that sadly we don't see that often with war films. Yeah.
Charles, you come in your character and there's a handoff of leadership that happens between you and Will. And honestly, this is an honest story and a true story, but can you talk a little bit about, we see that in movies, there's a gracefulness and a kindness that happens in it between the two of you. I don't know how else to put it, but it's not harsh. It's like honest and heartfelt. Can you talk about how you guys worked it and played that moment?
Yeah, I think it was many different factors. You know, um, Will and I had the great honor and privilege to converse with the men that were in that position, and to ask them questions about it. And they're best friends, those two guys. And in the moment of crises, it was one of the greatest acts of leadership for one, to just pass over and just be like, look, I can't do this right now. Like, I'm gonna need you to run point. And like it wasn't to glorify or to like have this sense of bravado or machismo or anything like that. It was just very honest. This is the protocol. My character was coming in to find out the context of the situation, went straight to Will's character, and from there, you know, that's when that transition happened.
But the fact that they're best friends is beautiful. Thank you. I got a wrap, guys. You did a great job. Thank you for making this movie, and have a great rest of your day on this.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.